How's it going, dudes? It's BST here. I just realized I forgot to unmute my mic. I know, funny as fuck. It's BST here, and I'm here by myself doing the Free Time podcast today. Just chilling out, having fun, playing some Call of Duty. Right now it's the Modern Warfare free weekend, so I'm just kind of finishing that up. It's Sunday, last day of it. I don't know if it's going to go into Monday or when exactly it's going to turn off, and I could technically be mid-match and they may even kick me out or whatever. I'm here with my custom classes. One thing you may notice is that I like to use the riot shield, mainly because bullet damage in this game, there's nothing else I can say other than it's more realistic than a lot of the previous Call of Duty games in the sense of less bullets to more damage. I'm going to, just for now I'm going to use my P90 class, just join in, spawn in. There's been a lot of things that have happened since the last BST Free Time podcast. We're going to start with talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine, or should I say Snitch9, the pussy-ass bitch that decided to come around and fucking snitch on his own team to get out and get popular, or whatever the fuck you want to say. He got out of jail by snitching on his own squad. And I get where he's saying in the sense of, his boys were fucking his girl and everything, so if they weren't loyal to him, why would he be loyal to them? But at the same time, you can't really run past on that mentality. Two wrongs don't make a right. But I also get where he's saying eye for an eye. In my eyes, I'm not going to say anything to incriminate myself or anybody else, but I've done some things myself that have not been, the greatest by any means, and it did nothing for me but make me change and grow as a person. But I never ever switched up on any of my friends. I never snitched on anybody, no matter what the popular belief may be. And along with me not snitching on any of my friends, I've also just, kind of stuck out my shit. I get that I never, I'm going to say this. As an adult, I've never been tried for any crimes or arrested on anything. As a minor, I was arrested, but I'm not going to go into that once again. But it was what it was. I can't, go back in time. I can't change it. But I sat, I was ready to do my time. I was ready to get it done and over with and just get back on the streets. Along with all the thoughts of what am I really going to do? What's really going to happen here with myself and my squad? Anytime anything started to go wrong, anytime I saw any sort of police officer or anything, I started freaking out. And those thoughts started running through my head. I always said, though, if I ever get myself in trouble, I'm going to take my own charges. I won't ever rat on anybody, but at the same token, I can't guarantee, hypothetically speaking, if I was in a vehicle with somebody and then they didn't claim their narcotics or anything that may or may not be in the vehicle, I can't guarantee that I would not go off on them and beat them up in jail. That's just the way it is. So Tekashi, back to him anyway. Is he a free man? I wouldn't say free. But he's definitely not in jail. He's definitely not doing time like he should be. He's definitely not handling himself in the sense of he claimed to be some fucking hard-ass gangster and roll with the Treyway Bloods, but, he then switched up on the whole gang and ratted on all of them. Is that okay by any means? Hell no. Hell to the no. Fuck no. If you ever try to say that to me, that it's okay and understandable, do I understand it? Why he did it? Fuck yeah. Is it okay by any means? Fuck no. Because he knew what he was getting into, and he can't change my mind on that. He knew exactly what he was getting into. He knew exactly what the gang life was, and he knew that he was going to have to face his own shit when the time came. But instead of facing his own shit when the time came, he decided to take the easy way out and go home. I get, yes, he has a daughter that he asked to go home to, that he wanted to go home to, and that he was worried about his daughter. But what I don't think he put into his head is that he then marked himself for death, basically. And I'm not saying that he's going to be killed by any means. Obviously, he's still alive and, more or less doing well. But that also doesn't mean that he's golden by any means. Fucking A. You just saw that death. But, Yeah, so that's my opinion on 6ix9ine. I definitely believe the dude deserves to get his shit handled the street way. Whatever that may be, or be determined by the gang that he used to roll with, and all affiliates that they have had. Because at the end of the day, they were the 9 Trey Bloods. They were a group of Bloods. I don't fuck with the Bloods, I don't fuck with the Crips, and when I say I don't fuck with them, that means I don't affiliate with them, but that also means I don't disrespect them, and I don't go into their turf and try to badmouth them. So yeah, that's all I can say, is that 6ix9ine's going to get what's probably going to come. He's probably going to get what's coming to him, and when it happens, I can't say that I won't be happy about it, because at the end of the day, there's a code that you have to stick to, and if you can't stick to it, don't get involved. That's what I'm going to stick with my entire life, with everything. Now, we're going to switch topics here. We're going to go into something that is very, very popular in the news right now, obviously. The country's still in turmoil over the death of George Floyd. And it's not obviously the death of George Floyd, nor do I see this as a race issue. I see this as a 110% police issue, and the fact that these police are getting away with harming innocent civilians. And honestly, people try to tell me that George Floyd was not an innocent civilian, but by no means do I think that man deserved to die by the hands of the police. Not at all, not in a million years. I definitely believe I believe he was innocent, in the sense of nobody deserves to get okay, so I'm going to go back to the few different conflicting news stories that I hear. I first heard that it was a check that they were worried was fake, and then the check was proven not to be fake. Which, perfect, fine, great. But then for you to try to tell me that he deserved to die over that? No. Then they also tried to say that he was passing counterfeit money. Even if that was true, that still didn't make that man deserve to lose his life by any means. Whether you say he's innocent or not is something completely different, but what I will say is a man that should not have been murdered by police was. All 4 officers have been charged in his case. The main officer, of course, being charged with murder. The other 3 being charged with accomplice to murder. Do I think this is great? Yes. But do I think this is enough? No. I think this is honestly a little, too late, in the sense that police has to be reformed. The city of Minneapolis is debating whether to disband their police department, and I'm in full support of that, not because I don't want police in the city of Minneapolis, but because the simple fact of the matter is that I live in Minnesota. I'm a Minnesota resident. I've been down to Minneapolis hundreds of times. I've been, to the cities plenty of times, and I'm not saying that that there was no deserving, or how do I want to word this? I'm not saying that there should be no police, but what I am going to say is that we have plenty of troopers, we have plenty of other individuals that will be able to do the city of Minneapolis correct and well. I definitely don't believe the city of Minneapolis should have to fear as they walk down the street, and I'm just going to bring it back to, I don't know, I can't pinpoint the year exactly, I want to say 2016, when Philando Castile was murdered. Some people were saying he was reaching for a gun, but I can tell you, as a resident of Minnesota, there's a few things that the police request from us when we get pulled over. One is our license, the other is our proof of insurance. I get that Philando warned the officer, then in that case, then put the officer on edge because he was conceal and carry. But basically, the officer should not have been as jumpy as he was, or trigger happy, if you want to word it that. He asked Philando for his proof of insurance, and as Philando was reaching for his proof of insurance, he then was murdered by a police officer in the city of St. Paul. So obviously this is not just a city of Minneapolis issue, this is a policing issue across not just Minnesota, but the entire United States. Obviously, And it's not even that people are innocent. I'm not going to claim that some of these people are innocent. Obviously, I will claim Philando was, because that was a taillight issue. And I truly believe George Floyd was innocent in the sense of there was not supposed to be that force used against him. No crime of a petty misdemeanor caliber like that, and correct me if I'm wrong if it's a petty misdemeanor, it could very well be a felony with fake money, but it does not need to result in harm to the man. Obviously, the security footage came out from the nearby businesses in the sense that George Floyd was unarmed, and people say he was resisting, and I will give the cop a little bit in the sense of I saw the dash cam footage. I will say, okay, I get where you're saying he was resisting, but at the same token, he was complying and in handcuffs. He may not have wanted to get in the police vehicle, but that's what a taser's for. Honestly, I could understand the justifiable use of a taser, even though at that point the taser wouldn't even be justified in the legal aspect of it. After everything, obviously the city of Minneapolis is still in turmoil in the sense of there's a lot of people that agree that the police were wrong, but I have had plenty of people in my life even that I know personally try to defend the actions of the police officer. And like I said, I was arrested at the age of 17. I won't say for what, and I won't say why, and I won't say anything like that. But what I will say was I guarantee you that while in handcuffs, holy shit, I'm actually popping off this game. While in handcuffs, I was not able to fight the officers. The only thing I could have possibly done was ran. And the officer even warned me, if you decide to run, I'm tasing you. I'm not chasing you, I'm tasing you. So, I didn't run, I complied, I got everything done, they dropped the charges on me within 14 hours of me being arrested. Okay, now I'm going to call my kill streaks now, since I popped off that first life here. We're going to call this motherfucker in over here. We're going to call this bitch in here. Call the UAV in. Shit, I'm gonna die from my own shit. If I'm not careful here. Boom. God damn! I'm dead ass popping off right now. Okay, so anyway, the only thing I can say is that it's a very bad shame what happened to George Floyd. I truly 110% believe the police officers need to be held accountable, and I'm actually kind of proud that my city started pressing charges, but I don't know, I doubt it was my city. I do truly believe it was the FBI's involvement that then started making everything happen like that. The FBI definitely should have kind of stepped in sooner. There's nothing else I can really say other than that. I definitely believe that George's family will get justice. I truly believe that this will be the call for reform of policing in the world. It's sad to say, but at this point in time, the United States police departments are made for nothing but getting money for people. From people, sorry, not for people. From people. It's straight taxpayer. How do I want to put this? Police are supposed to be here to serve and protect. That's literally their motto, serve and protect. They're not protecting the Constitution that they swore to uphold. They're not protecting any real civilians. They are mainly out to enforce fines and civil small disputes. Recently, my family and I got a letter because, and I'm not going to lie, my neighbor complained, and I justify where the neighbor was upset, but at the same token, I'm not going to say too much because I don't want anybody upset with me, but we had a vehicle that had a bunch of I don't even want to call it trash. It was an old bed, and we needed to get it to the dump. We have a truck, and we were going to take it there. Well, we needed tabs on the truck, and the tires are flat on the truck. So obviously we can't take it to the dump right away. One of the neighbors complained about it, which I understand, technically, in the sense of there's trash in the way, in public view, and it's an eyesore. But then for the police and the city to offer or threaten us with a fine if we don't get it taken care of and tabs on the vehicle, that totally tells me that they're in it for nothing but money. My brother is an active duty Marine, and it is his truck that we didn't have tabs on. It wasn't great, not gonna lie. It was, against city ordinance, not gonna lie. But at the same token, it should not be against city ordinance to have a vehicle in your driveway without tabs. The lady at the city literally told my mom, when my mom tried to call to figure it out, that there should not be, how did she word it? She said, first of all, that the person at the DMV, because my mom asked about getting tabs on it before, and they said that we didn't need to. Obviously, they told my mom that that person was wrong, and that they shouldn't have said that to her. I agree. But to be said with that, the person that then complained, and then the city then sending the letters, is not fair to my brother in the sense of it's his vehicle. I know personally when I have vehicles, I'm the one handling all my shit. And I can't force anybody to do Brady's shit, because Brady's not here. Anyway, now on to the next subject here. First I'm going to kind of just figure out here how the hell I'm popping off so well. I got 22 kills, and I only have 12 confirms. Somebody else is obviously running around grabbing all my confirms, which is fine with me. I'm definitely going to get the fucking, play of the game, almost for sure if it shows play of the game. I don't know if it does, or if it's going to show final kill. Either way, I'm hoping to make it me. Yep, see victory, okay. But damn, I went off that game. Oh, I'm in party chat, that's why they can't hear me. Oh, yep, boom, right here. Yep, that was me popping off right there. I only had 11 deaths. Damn, my KD was awesome that game. Not even gonna lie. We're gonna edit that gun now because obviously. Okay, so that's the site we have for it now. I'm ready. I really don't know where else to take this podcast yet. Trying to think what else big has happened in the world. Obviously, COVID has come around. The first wave. I really don't have much to say on it. I'm not a medical expert by any means. I don't know what could and would and will happen. I do know that, I'm just another person living here in the world. I'm considered an essential employee, so my work schedule has not changed by any means, and I'm still just out here, being the same old me. My life, my day-to-day life has not changed at all. My life in general has not, and probably won't change. Just trying to think. Okay, yep, I did choose another class, but I'm going to snipe this game as I speak. Let's talk about 6ix9ine's new music style, because obviously I'm a musician myself. Not just a rapper, but a full-blown musician. I do all types, or I don't want to say all types of music. I do a bunch of different types of music. I don't just do hip-hop and rap. 6ix9ine's music. I don't like his new shit at all. His new shit is whack. I mean, I'm not gonna say I liked any of his old shit, but he did have a few songs that I would listen to here and there, especially if I was like in the mood to listen to 6ix9ine and, you know, be super aggressive. I grew up in the generation of, you know, 90s angst music. I grew up in the generation of early 2000s. I'm not saying that the 2000s wasn't as angsty, but obviously we had more pop punk in the early 2000s rather than in the 90s where there was a lot of the angst. When I listen to 6ix9ine, I don't necessarily feel rebellious, but I feel like me and my homies are really about it. And I know that we really are. I'm not going to say much. I'm not going to get myself or my homies incriminated by any means. But I know my homies will do anything for me, and I know I'll do anything for my homies. And that's all. I'm just going to leave it. My homies make the call. I do the lick. That's how it works. They make the call. I do the lick. I make the call. They do the lick. It just be like that. We all watch out for each other, we all about it, but yeah. 6ix9ine really implements me in that mode, in the sense of I already really feel that way, aggressive, you know, literally in the sense of these niggas these niggas say they heard of me, I ain't heard of you. I really haven't heard of a lot of people that be running their mouth about me. I don't know them, they don't know me, and they just want to talk. And a lot of the times, they just want to talk. They don't want to walk the walk. Damn. 3 back to back to back. Calling in this UAV here. But his new shit, I'm not gonna lie, I do prefer his new voice style. I think his flow is actually better than being the Treyway. But at the same time, when he was hard and aggressive like that, I felt it more of a DMX type rather than a, you know, Tekashi. Shit, you saw that. I'm not saying 6ix9ine didn't have a distinguishable sound, but his hard and aggressive style that he used to do, it heavily reminded me of DMX. And I'm not quite sure if DMX is from New York. I know that 6ix9ine is. I also know that 50 Cent is. I'm having a lot of issues with 50 right now, in the sense of I think what he's doing is trying to troll his son into getting into rap and making his son like step up and show 6ix9ine what's up. But I don't think he's approaching it the right manner at all. Because, you know, he's made some comments of, you know, 6ix9ine, I like 6ix9ine better than my son, this and that, and I don't agree with that. Just as someone who myself has issues with my father, and I'm not saying 50 has issues with his son, but for him to be saying that was just some straight disrespectful shit. I get 50 used to be gangster back in the day, and I'm not saying that he ain't really still about it, but 50 ain't banging no more. He ain't flipping that white like he used to. He ain't on the streets like he used to be. He ain't the dope dealer running around blowing people back in Queens. And I'm not saying that's how he used to be, but like, that's how I always perceived his shit, you know? You're a banger, you're about it, you're from Queens. You want that hard shit. And now, I mean, if 50 wants to take this disrespectful, assuming 50 ever hears it, 50 clowning, like, I really don't know what else to say. I mean, I know he always clowned Ja Rule and shit, like, he bought Ja Rule's concerts, tickets to his, you know, first 5 rows to his concerts or something, or bought all the tickets to his concert or something, shut it down, basically. But in reality, who's winning there? Because Ja just has to show up, then. He can perform music if he wants. You ain't going to be able to demand a refund from him because there's no crowd there, so why would he perform? And you just paid him all that money. And even then, he gets up there, he performs, sings a couple of his own songs, and leaves. You paid him all that money. Like, who's really the clown? I get it could be a thing where, like, he's, you know, trying to pull back and feel bad for what he used to do to Ja and whatnot, but I don't think that. I think 50 really think that he winning and clowning, and that ain't it at all. At this point, sad to say, 50 a fucking clown. I look up to 50. I used to love 50's music. Anytime some real shit was going on, me and my dogs would always bump Many Men. Always. But, like, there's being gangster, and then there's being fucking Logan and Jake Paul. And that's what he's being. He's being Logan and Jake Paul. He thinks he's funny. He thinks he's doing something good. When in reality, he's trolling himself more than anything. And so, with that being said, I'm going to just kind of switch topics here. Speaking of Logan and Jake Paul, we're going to go into that. They're both clowns. I really don't know how else to say it, and that's where I'm saying that 50 is the same way. But there's also a huge difference. 50 makes music. People will always buy and listen and love 50's music. And I'm not saying that Jake Paul and Logan Paul aren't going to have people always listening to their music. I can never, ever actually hear anybody say, though, that they like a Logan or Jake Paul song. I've never, ever heard anybody in the real world ever ask me to play a Logan and Jake Paul song and be serious about it. And there's really nothing else I could say about Logan and Jake Paul other than they're losers, they're clowns. When the YouTube platform collapses, which it's inevitable, I'm sorry. We all said MySpace wasn't going to fall. MySpace fell. We all said YouTube isn't going to fall. YouTube might fall. We all said Facebook was going to be the top of the thing. And don't get me wrong, everybody still has a Facebook and everybody's still on Facebook, but nobody's like they're on Facebook like they used to. Facebook is not the same as it used to be. Facebook now is like literally just kind of our profile of our life. And back in the day, that's not what it used to be. Back in the day, it used to be a, like social media. And I don't mean to say it like that, but MySpace, Twitter, Snapchat, we don't treat those the same way we treat Facebook. We treat Facebook way different. Is it a bad thing? No, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing by any means. But YouTube will eventually fall, and this is no disrespect to YouTube. I love using YouTube as my platform. Obviously, I mainly upload all my music to YouTube. But with that being said, what really can be done? And the answer is kind of nothing. Really can't do nothing to save the platform in long term. We can always, try to do whatever we want in the sense of saving everything. But when it comes down, it's going to come down. Am I saying YouTube's going to come down? No, but I don't think it's going to be a money-making platform like it currently is long term. Anyway, I'm kind of out of topics right now. I'm just kind of rambling on, so that's where I'm going to end this free time podcast right here. Y'all seen me have some great games. Y'all seen me had some trash games. Either way, I'm just on tonight, having some fun. BST, enjoying my free time. BST the American Devil here. I'm out.